It's your boy Rico the Barber. This is the No Matter What show, not a podcast. Got my boy Donta Hill in here, guest host, dope, cool young dude. Elevating, extravagant, hustle, grind, mindset on point. It's been a long week. Got it in, grinded it out, put myself in position to have a motivated outlook on life, or however you want to say it. But yeah, man, I'm gonna shoot this to Chris Breezy, pause. And
I feel like I get all the pauses. It's Chef Chris Brown. How everybody doing today? I missed last week, so I missed y'all.
I know. Welcome Chris back.
Yeah. So I'm happy to be back with y'all. Everybody good? Tyra, how you doing? You good?
I've been great. Okay, yeah. Amazing.
Dating life good?
Oh, I'm put up.
I
So I'm
chilling.
chilling. Why you trying to catch me off guard?
I'm trying to put her in the
Listen, I'm put up, okay? I'm chilling.
Well, she the only female guest today, so
Man,
I'm a represent. And we gonna hold it down for the day. I got you, Dave.
No, we jumper.
We miss you, Dave.
Jump me.
I'm glad to be back with you guys here on the show.
Bless.
How was your week?
My week was busy.
Because we missed you the past 2 weeks.
Crazy busy. Y'all gonna miss me soon. I got a lot of filming coming up, so
y'all gonna miss me again.
Nah, we gonna get a picture board.
Yeah, a picture board. Yeah.
We're put it right there, so we ain't gotta miss you. We just gonna be like here in spirit.
I know.
Spirit's making us face it.
Yeah, right. Put you on my screensaver.
Okay. Yeah, no, but other than that, I'm good. Staying busy. Everybody I got a new baby, and work don't stop with the baby, so it's just been crazy. But it's nice to sit down with you guys in bed and talk. But I'm happy I'm back. So we got a great guest today too. I'm a big fan. So
yeah,
yes, Donta. Cheers to Donta.
Yeah, cheers to
Donta. You know what I'm saying? I raised you well, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Tyra Nicole here. I'll do my intro. Thanks for passing it to me.
Somebody take the mic.
Because you didn't pass it to me, but I'll take it. But here we are. No matter what show, I'm excited again to be with y'all. My week was great. The past 2 weeks, I just finished a 2-week film festival, so that was fun. And then in the middle of the festival, I did a huge production for one of my
shout out to Pan African.
The Pan-African Film Festival was great.
You better talk your stuff, man.
In the middle of the festival, I did a huge production for one of my other clients. You'll see it on my Instagram at moonwallagency.la. But yeah, let's roll into it. Donta, we're glad to have you here. You want to tell the people a little bit about you and your story, and then we're going to grill you with some questions.
Also tell them how tall you are. This dude is tall, boy.
I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm a professional skateboarder. Above it being my profession and what I've been doing for 20 years, it's also my passion, and it's been the thing that's, guided me through life in making, better choices, especially given the environments I, fortunately come from. That's about it.
Man, he downplaying himself, y'all. He's a great, outstanding young man, and he's a hell of a skateboarder.
He's a humble dude, man.
But see, that's why you got people like me to lift you up. I'm gonna lift you up. I'm gonna give you your flowers, and I think it's very important. Like you talked your accolades. That's great. Look, I've been cutting young bull for a minute, and me seeing him grow into his lane and his hustle and his grind. He beat the odds. And from the things that he's been around. So I want to give him his flowers on the podcast, on the show. I got to. One up top, Donta Hill.
What kind of flowers?
So whatever you want. You want lilies?
No. What flowers do you think represent me?
I think the flowers that represent you.
He gonna say roses.
Are white little daisies.
Why?
You said lilies first. I feel like lilies is what you really wanted to say.
Yeah, lilies. All right, I'll give you lilies. I don't know true meaning. I know white means peace, and I know red means love. I don't know too much about
white being peace is perfect.
Yeah, I'll give you that. You came a long way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you was like 7 feet tall when you was 10. How old I was cutting your hair?
15.
15. He like been his height. You know what I'm saying? Like
that was a little late back then, right?
Yeah, he was. He really was.
We was going couch to couch. But yeah, we had just got a place, like a 1-bedroom house with the house. Honestly, I feel like where I came from is, the old classic, single mother household. Daddy was a gang member, you know, in jail for my entire childhood. I've seen my dad 4 times to be like old enough to remember. Uh, yeah, I like I always trip out when I think about what made me be like, nah, I'm not finna do that. Like it really was as simple as like so like when we talk about skateboarding. Skateboarding was just simply a thing that I saw on TV or yeah, TV. I saw Tony Hawk or some shit funny enough. And I was like, oh, I want to try that. And you know when you're a kid, like kids try everything. You try baseball, football, skateboard, scooter, like but obviously at some point you kinda lean on what most resonates with you. Right. And skateboarding just honestly, very simply put, it was the thing that I picked up as a kid curious and it was the thing that just resonated with me. Why? The freedom, the individualism of it, like skateboarding, I don't do well with team things, you know what I mean? For whatever reason. Uh, and it's just kind of like, I mean, for simply put, I've been fortunate for it to just work out for me. You know, when I was 15, I got my first opportunity to like, I got sponsored when I was 15 by a big brand.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and thank you, I appreciate that. And from there, you know, I was already distracted. You know, so school was not an option. I was like, no, I already was not trying to be there. And then I happened to be blessed with given this opportunity to be sponsored and like, you know, go and skate with my favorite skateboarders that I looked up to as a kid.
Who's the brand?
Baker
Okay.
skateboards,
Okay.
yeah. And yeah, from there, like I was like, yo, I'm not going to school. You know, I already was not going. I went to Westchester, and I was like, I wasn't going. I was ditching to go skate and stuff like that, and then yeah, it got to a certain point. Second semester, sorry, 10th grade. Yeah. My mom, I left to go to an adult school, like we went to the same shit, Ep.3, yeah. And I did that shit for like a year, and I was like, yeah, I think like I made it to where like all I had to do was take a test.
It's vocational.
Exactly. And I made it to where like all I had to do was take a test and I get my GED. And I remember it was summer. And my teacher was like, "Yeah, just take the test, practice." And I was like, so I just I never finished school, and I don't know, like
Oh, to this day.
To this day, y'all don't have high school education, but it's like.
But it's worked out for you.
Yeah, but also I just personally don't believe in like formal education. At least now as an adult, I don't believe in formal education because like benefited from school besides like learning how to just do what the world says I should do. Right. Growing up, I was told, "Oh, play basketball." And gang, you know what I mean? Like it's like, correct. Like really that was going to it was either basketball or hey, you trying to, you know what I mean? Come like and it's kind of like I feel like especially being a tall young black man, I look at it personally like we got a lot of tall young black men. Like
they always expect you to be a baller, a basketball player.
Like think about it. Like I feel like it's a very narrow mind. Like it's very narrow minded to be like you black and tall. Ball. Yeah, but it's like yo. Most of the cats in the NBA, and I don't kill them. I'm just assuming it's tall. We need to spread our people around. We have doing art, you know.
Well, how tall are you?
6'7".
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like if I was in the NBA, I would be like just you know what I mean, like another taller than me. But I mean, but as a skateboarder, and not only am I not only am I a black skateboarder, but I'm like I have my own entire like I have my own category of skateboard. Correct. Yeah. So I'm like tall. That's the thing. There's categories of skateboard, and being a tall skater, it's like you like I can do the same thing as him, right? But
your skis is way cleaner.
Well, it was not even about like to me cleaner. It's just different. It's like you get a kickflip. Yeah. But I did a kickflip, and that's cool. This kickflip, but I his too. Correct. Like, it's different. He's tall.
Yeah, he's tall. You know it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Like it's not like a it's not a comparison. Skateboarding is not a competition. Now we've made it. I mean, listen, I was talking to a friend of mine from Australia last night. I was like, yo, hot dog eating is a contest. Eating is not a competition.
It's a sport.
You can make any people can tend to make anything a sport, and I feel like the language of sport is the language that like speaks to like the commercial America. So that's why you make things sports. So because skateboarding is either some low life out on the street terrorize my property, or it's this like competition thing, Tony Hawk, and like so you have to if you want in terms of like trying to like allow it to appease to the average consumer who does not understand skateboarding, you have to like put it in a bag and like give it to people as like this is a competition.
But also, you are a skateboarder, professional skateboarder, and you're sponsored by Adidas. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big deal. You know.
Ask you this too. Being a public figure, right? I want to touch back on what you said about, your belief with the education system. How do you counter this though? Like, so there's a kid coming up, looks up to you, wants to follow your footsteps in school. What advice do you have for him? Are you gonna tell him like, drop out of school, start skateboarding? Like, I just want to hear that perspective because when you're a public figure, you have to abide by certain rules. You have to put your beliefs to the side, and that's a personal thing whether you choose to or not to. But I want to hear what you would do, like as a public figure. Young black kid, South Central. He wants to skateboard, but he's in high school. What advice do you have for him as for his journey of skateboarding?
I mean, it's simple. I like I don't look at myself as a public figure for a reason. For a reason, right? Whether it's true, not whatever. I genuinely in my heart I don't, and it's because like I feel like even even holding a stigma or having an image, right, as something, I feel like two things can be true at once, right? I can be a public figure, and yes, I believe in people who are in charge of like influencing young kids, right? The most precious things we have, right? Little kids, right? I believe yes, you have a responsibility, but I also believe in the simple fact of like, yo, there has to be room for you to be human. So I said that to say we forget that. I feel like we are so far gone from like what it simply is to just be a fucking human. And being a human is a complex thing. Being a human is this. I woke up today and I'm pissed off. I woke up today and I'm sad. I woke up today and I'm mad and I'm happy. I woke up today and I'm like depressed. Like
and you still have to get
that's what being human is. And like and so to answer your question, like I would tell a kid, yo, like just be you. Don't be what you feel like is right to be. Like don't be what somebody told you should be. Just be you. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like life is the journey, and the journey is not this like straight path thing. It's like it's this complex thing of like I went to this place, I went to that place, I was here, I was there, I was there, and it all is this again this journey that builds you up to at some point, and really when you don't realize it to being who I don't know, like
You're supposed to be.
yeah, you're supposed to be. Like I feel like we make life more complicated than it actually is. It's like why would I tell a little kid like hey, like, don't like drop out of school. I would tell them like, yo, just make the decision that you actually believe most aligns with what you feel, not think, feel, is true to you. And that's hard because the mind is a funny thing.
Because you really can't go off of your own feelings and your own understanding too, and that's where you have to tap into like a higher power, or you have to tap into God. I believe in God, so I say God.
Yeah.
But you have to tap in because if you go off of what you feel all the time, like emotions
are not designed to tell you the truth.
Exactly.
That's why
And I feel like we have
in jail.
exactly
Off being mad for
right.
5
It's a
minutes.
temporary feeling.
You know what I mean?
And I feel like we had this conversation in the barbershop the other day about like emotional intelligence and like how you need to like really hone into self, right? So how do you like hone into self and like how do you manage your mental health in this journey?
Well, for the biggest thing, this shit. I do not subscribe to what most people subscribe to. So I obviously have social media because that's just the end of the living. You gotta have
And you
social
popping
media.
on social media?
You said popping?
I mean, you lit on social media.
He ain't gonna say it.
He not gonna say it.
He's a humble dude.
You got motion. Like
y'all, I'm a nerd. Like, I'm gonna break down the depths.
I would say the same
so it's like
thing
this.
if I was in that type of position. Like
that's
that's
just thing. No, this thing. So look, it's this thing. I know what it's like to be at a point in life where I'm led by accolades, by commercial
You're
success
self-made.
in my own
Yeah,
domain.
you're
So
self-made.
but like I feel
He
like
got made.
yeah, but I understand that like the how valueless that is. Like it's cool and it's useful having followers and you know what I mean, being able to do what you love. But I feel like it's just kind of normal to like be able to see the other side of that and understand what actually truly is important to you.
Correct.
And not be led by that. So
Yeah.
when y'all talk about public figure, followers, I'm like, well, I know what it's like to like think that is like true value.
It's empty. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
it's like two things can be true. It's useful, especially when we talk about like business. Like it's useful to have followers. For sure. Nobody's gonna lie about that. It's useful, but like, does it really serve you like a true purpose? When you talk about like okay, it's like this. You make you make $2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, $10 million, right? Right now, everybody gets $10 million. What are you gonna do? You gonna buy all the things you desire to buy, right? And then what?
Right.
That's cool. Like that's cool. But I feel like life is like, not to be just a stereotypical LA thing, like, it's a marathon. It's like,
it's about purpose, and that's where like people don't find their purpose. They go off of the accolades, like, well, I've done this, that, and the third for like this, that, and for X, Y, and Z. But it's not really their passion. It's not their purpose. And I feel like you have to find your purpose in order to live a successful life. Success is not based off of monetary value, right? Like success is based off of finding yourself, finding your person, who you can help along the way in your journey, and like the people that you impact.
I agree. Yeah, yes. Like I was just telling somebody yesterday. I said when you really break it down, this new Western made up world we live in now, right? Like it's the reality of what it is, and that's cool. But like we are at the end of the day, we are still human. We still just like animals, right? Like when you really think about it, it's kind of simple. Like come here and what is like the true human purpose, right? Procreate, and I guess you could add it too, like procreate and influence the next generation behind you in a healthy manner, right? That's the biggest. That's upon everything else. Like, well, like if I'm a millionaire and I accumulated all this money, cars, clothes, homes and like that, and I die, but I ain't influence nobody else or
Well, that's why you use those accolades and those things that you do receive to give back to those younger youth or those people.
Now, if that board influences that kid to like be like, I think skateboarding really resonates with me.
You giving them that board, honestly, 100% is them knowing they're getting that board from, and you proving yourself on Instagram or social media. It helps them understand why they're coming to get that board, because I look up and I want to be something like this man.
That me,
Yeah,
followers
maybe richer than anybody in the rain.
That I look to when I'm lost in life, and I'm like, yo, I got some serious dark struggles. When I'm in it,
but you're talking to them when you need peace, right? Because they don't have Instagram. They're not following the ways of the world. They're blocking all that out. So, but your career, it consists of you being a leader. You have to put that on. That's what you're doing. That's what you are, and you signed up for it. It's no longer to like when you do like, and I peep it. When you like deactivate your brand, I'll be like, dog, why are you doing that?
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
I just get on the.
Like whatever, and I'll be like, oh, you need to go ahead and get back in here because, and you like, bro, I'm trying to mentally get myself ready and getting, what I'm saying? I'll be like, dog, it's going, like, and then you tell me like, it's it doesn't fit my characteristics, and then you'll come back. But I tell you, you feel better when you jump back in that. You show your lane, you show who you are, you show your accolades. And I keep saying accolades because you have a bunch of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you came a long way, and I've seen you come from a 15-year-old kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I promote you to be who you are, because there are a lot of young kids that look up to you and want to strive. So when you're out the loop, you're not giving them what they, like what they look for.
But look though, check this out. It's simple. Like if my cup is, we understand. If my cup is empty, what congregation is it? If my cup is empty.
Correct.
So when I take this hiatus off Instagram, like and I'm like, I need to be away. Like that's because like I've heard even professionals say, I've heard it multiple times. Professionals that I listen to, that I see therapy on, that I listen to, they say the best thing you can give, if you're talking about family, the best thing you can give your child, your friend, your brother, your mom, or whatever, is the best and the healthiest version of you. So I'm giving kids this version of me that looks nice. They seeing my tricks, they seeing I'm doing giveaways. I mean, like I've been given some very shitty cars. You would never know that because obviously I'm the skateboarder and I'm this and that, and I walk around with a smile on my face. Yeah, it's because I kind of had to learn how to exist with.
But you choose to do that. You choose that.
Yeah. So as someone in my adulthood, I made an intention because I'm like, hey man, I'm not gonna be Dante the skateboarder. I'm trying to be, just a dude, dad, you know what I mean? Like
a fighter. You need to tell them too that
I can't.
Like
I
you
can't.
train. You picked up the MMA for a while too.
Yeah, I did. I competed in boxing amateurs once, and I mean I tried more than that, but I competed once because that's the whole thing. It's hard to get fights in my weight, 170. Imagine that. I was 6 at the time, 6'4" or 6'5", walking around 170.
Did that help with you trying to rebuild yourself? And you were saying that when your cup is empty and your soul is drained, does that help you kind of release some of the depression maybe, or the misunderstanding we might have for ourselves?
So the fighting was my way of like, gaining control of one area that I was insecure in, especially, as a man. Like, hey, like, yo, like, what you gonna want to do when it's time to spark? But it wasn't even about like the actual act of fighting. It was just the confrontational parts of being a man. Like, fighting kind of allowed me to like experiment and experience, what it feels like to be so vulnerable, which is have a grown ass man whoop your ass. You know what I mean? And like, what are you gonna do with it, right? So that's what that was for. And then it eventually, of course, turned into a love. I love to fight. It started out with boxing, and then started out, and then it transitioned into grappling, jiu-jitsu, and then at some point I started training MMA. But unfortunately, with some of the best fighters in the world, but it, at the end of the day, it's just art too as well. And I look at myself as an artist, and I like to express myself artistically in a way that aligns with me. And I tend to, if you can see the patterns, high school dropout, skateboarding has what? No rules. Freedom. Fighting has what? Well, rules, of course, but it's very free. Um, and I think like these realms of art just found me because it was my way of expressing, myself.
When it like the world of skateboarding, how did you adjust to that? Because that's a culture shock coming from LA. Skateboarding, like we all know, that was we was watching, they were playing video game. It was all white people. I remember playing Tony Hawk. It was that one black skater, and all the black dudes just trying to.
Brandon Turner.
Yeah.
Steve Williams. Steve.
Oh, Civil. I don't know who it was.
Stevie.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Tony Hawk, it was only one black
Stephen
skater.
Williams. Yeah, Stephen Williams. Yeah.
Was that a culture shock for you, going from LA and then going into the world of skateboarding where it's predominantly white?
I have an interesting experience with like the interracialism word. Like it wasn't a culture shock, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because like
because dirt, my nigga, dirt. It's like what it is. Like we came up from the dirt where it was Mexicans, black, white. This is if you know what the dirt is. If you're a skater, you know what the dirt is. You know what I'm saying? It's on Inglewood and what was that? Inglewood or what?
And 120.
120th.
You feel me? So I'm happy you asked that question. Like it wasn't a culture shock because I think just the timing. Like you got to think like I started skateboarding when I was 5 years old, right? Like legit skateboard, right? And I think I moved to Hawthorne. Thank God we got like South Central early, but like I moved, we was in South Central till like 2000. I don't know, 7, something like that. And then when we moved with my auntie in Eaglewood, I was already skating then, and then we moved to Hawthorne. So I probably lived in Hawthorne when I was like 9. Never lived anywhere more than 2 years, 3 years besides being in South Central. We moved around a lot in South Central, but we stayed in South Central the longest. When I was in Hawthorne, I started skating at the dirt, and yeah, it was it was there, but like it still was we skateboard, so you still got some white cats popping, especially like at the time, like the South Bay, that South Bay zone there was a lot of skateboarding going on. Like you had a distribution called Dwindle that was right down the street. That's Glow, Almost, Dark Star, that all that shit. And then you had like girl. They actually used to be funny enough. They actually be right across the street from here. Girl, Crow Taps, Girl, Chocolate, Lacan. These is big ass entities of skateboarding. Yeah. And so that was in the South Bay. So them was white cats. So they was popping in the Hawthorne sometimes too. So culture shock, no. I think like I grew up like I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like I grew up like not like so my pops, he was a gang, he was 6'0". I said to say, like, I think, like when I think growing up, like, people used to always tell my mom, like, he always was like his daddy. And my mom was like, my brother's only at 19. My mom,
No, he not.
my mom was like, that's why she got so social.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, you know, like, Dad,
Are you the oldest?
I'm the only.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
the only child.
Yeah, I got a half brother by my dad, actually. He like 6 now, and then I got a half sister I never met.
Oh, wow.
But so I think somewhere in me, like, I kind of knew that. Like, I saw the dysfunction in my home, and I was like, I'm not gonna be that. Even to an extreme of like, I'm gonna hang out with my kids. Like, that's not right, but it's a defense mechanism. You know what I mean? So I think, like, it wasn't a culture shock. It was like a, let me grip on to something that feels like function, right? And like, because Hawthorne was very interracial. You know what I mean? But when I was following Segundo, skateboard, all white kids. I was like, no, this the one right here. This the one. Like, this it. Like, these kids, they got resources, because resources in skating is important. That's why skateboarding is a predominantly white sport, because skateboarding was created by surfers. To this day, I can't tell you one black surfer, right? It was surfers trying to figure out how to skate on land. That's why it's on land. That's why skateboarding was back in the day, like the late 70s, was called sidewalk surfing.
That's one thing about skating, man. The fact you've been skating this long, I already know the type of person you are. You don't quit, man. Because I had a lot of friends that skated, they quit. We talked about that earlier. People get hurt, they just give up, they quit, and all that. What's your motivation behind skating? Like, because everybody got that inner motivation for what they do. Like, mine is my family. That's why I cook.
Oh, I see the question too. I feel like it shifts, right? Like, motivation, for me at least, it shifted. Like, when I was a kid, I skated because it just felt like the only way I could truly express myself. And that's why I talk about the freedom element of it. Like, there's no rules. We don't got to wear a uniform, nothing, right? But as I, dove into the business element of it, my motivation was the same, because I wanted to, uh, I wanted to capitalize on an opportunity and make essentially my dreams come true of being like a pro skateboarder. So that was the motivation. Like, I, probably selfish, but I want to become this thing that as a little kid I've always dreamed of being. That was my motivation. And then I reached the point where I quit skating. You don't know that. You don't know that.
I knew that.
I knew that. Like, kind of like low key during, like, a little bit before COVID.
Yeah, it was.
I was
She was
struggling.
really giving it up,
I was like, I'm done with this shit. You gotta think about how hard that is for somebody, because it's like,
Yeah, I was
it's
shocked.
my
Bro.
passion and my job. I had ice cream to get, like, what's wrong with me? So now, coming around to now, that was my motivation when I was younger, right? Wanting to, like, achieve this dream that I've had as a kid. And then I didn't have any motivation. That's like at all at a certain point. And now I'm the happiest I've been since I was a kid. Like, now my motivation is simply like, I guess it's my motivation is simply tied into the fact that, like, this is like skateboarding is me. Like, I'm an artist. It's kind of tied to, like, my understanding of identity, and I've always struggled with identity as a young black man. Right, I'm an artist, and this is how I live my life. Like, skateboarding is this thing that I've been blessed to be introduced to, and this is how I touch people or find peace within.
Well, also,
That's like my motivation.
Your younger bro, like when you were trying to put him in a position to become, a motivated young man, black man, you were bringing him to the shop and you were letting me know that you wanted to kind of show him kind of the way of taking care of yourself, keeping yourself up, um, striving, having conversations with older men, and you showing him that was a big part too.
Yeah, my stepbrother, I met him when I was 15. He probably was a little kid. That was a very big point in my life when I had to take on, like, big brother roles. You could imagine, you could have, yeah, only child. You could only imagine what I know. First of all, like, I ain't seen no man in my house my whole life.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing a man, and all of a sudden, a little light skinned brother too.
Right.
And yeah, I think that definitely helped me at that point in my life, in the sense that, like, it allowed me to take on the responsibility of thinking of somebody else aside from myself. I've had 2 points in my life, 2 specific points in my life, where I actually had to like really think about someone else personally, like a young boy. I mean, like in my life, like and it was one of them. It helped me a lot, like with like. I mean, I remember my mom used to be like, "I'm having a kid." I'm like, "No, you're not. Like, you ain't having a kid. Like, you said me, me." And I think that definitely opened me up to like, considering, another young boy and like what I'm doing, how that can possibly affect him, especially because he looked up to me,
Right. That had to be difficult too, because part of being the older brother, you mimic your dad. So you see the things your dad taught you. You're like, oh, my dad used to teach me this. I'm gonna teach my little brother how to do this. So I mean, that had to be difficult with no father to step into that role. The big brother's like almost like a dad.
Absolutely. You got a girl, you got a kid. I can't even hold on to a girl, dog. And that's not player. Like let me not make my mouth like no, it's not though. Like listen. Like being you don't understand. Being a skateboarder is like being a rock star. It is right in that domain, right? It truly is. Traveling the world, a bunch of young cats in Australia and Switzerland and London, right? Like girls like that. Young girls who like that. Right? It's like being a rock star. You tend to realize like when you step out of that like that realm. So who am I like as just Dante, like the young man, like father, not father, but like let's put it. No, I'm taking nah, I didn't mean that like
What the father is crazy.
Be careful what you speak.
No, what I mean by that is put it aside for a second. I struggle with real addiction, right? I seek validation in women, right? This is what I wrote a letter. That's the relevance. I told my mom this. I said, yo, like, I'm struggling with addiction. Like, I gotta go to 12-step programs for addiction. For real. Right?
I know.
Validation.
We helped you grow through that.
No, validation. I seek validation and attention. In other words, why? Because I didn't get it from I didn't get it from my mom. Not in the way I needed it. Right? Oh man, so I didn't get it there. So I went and sought it out in women. And the gift but curse. That's why when I get compliments, you get the reactions you get from me, because the gift but curse that I've been given by God, whatever or whoever, is that I'm a 6'7" young brother that look how I look, and people like to appreciate that. That's what I'm saying. People like to appreciate. I walk down the street, oh, you tall, you handsome, you this, your skin, you this, right? And it's like the reason why I'm so jaded is because I've used that. I've weaponized my ability to get that validation and attention from women.
It benefited you. It benefited you when you were wanting that.
Nah, it just gave me what I wanted.
Exactly. So, and you didn't know how to use it, and now you learned, but now you're utilizing it in a different manner around and get medicine for it.
Absolutely.
You have to be treated for your past, failures, the things you did.
Going back to like the addiction thing, like it was a quick fix, like it's a fix for you. It was a quick fix, and now you have to learn how to get that fix elsewhere.
And coping too. I mean, like addiction, like it's like a double whammy, like because in my particular kind of addiction. Yeah,
because he was addicted to it.
Not what, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Rico wasn't your sponsor, right?
Oh, that's funny. Yo, this is the dangerous part of it. Is that like it's not about like, oh, because I got some, the girl gave me her I'm gonna say body, you telling me corporate. She gave me her body parts, her time, right? It's like this. I got her body parts, right? But I also got attention from her, and I also got validation from her. That's
what you were really seeking.
That's a dangerous game. That's why I tell people, I'm like, yo, it's not just like, it's like sex is like a byproduct of it too. Because I'm not just out here it's not just about like, oh, because like she got big butt or like these physical elements. It's like correct. It's like no. I'm gonna tell you straight up, like I got a hit of a dope. I got a dopamine hit just based off the fact that like the girl that I knew I wanted, right? She gave me the time of day. Even her just giving me her time. Right.
It was like a game almost.
It is.
Yeah, for real.
For when he was in that era. What if you had one and you were smashing that one? You're really supposed to be like, if you doing that, you know what I'm saying, and you knocking down a shorty or whatever, it probably would have been better for you if you were blessed enough to have found that one early. You wouldn't have to have had that. You would really been on some like, man, I got my John and she really throwing that thing back, and we finna go to church. We just smashed before we finna go to church. You know what I'm saying? Or like, hey, look, like, or look, y'all go try on some clothes at the damn room real quick. No. You know what I'm saying? That's the fun in it.
No. Like I can't stop fucking on them. But then I find something. See, right? But that's a problem. Like I can't stop fucking on just strangers, right? But then I find this one. She got me. She got. I wasn't in the letter.
You was smashing though.
You told your mama you was fucking strangers in the letter?
If I'm your girl on Instagram, that I'm
this is crazy.
Y'all running too fast.
But that's what you
what
do
you call? Let's be real. Let's be real. Okay. What do you call? I'm a stranger to you. You know a little bit about me, right? What do you call somebody that you met on Instagram and y'all look at each other's posts or something like and then you hang out? Sure. And then
stranger just sounds like water.
But you gotta be real about it.
So you immediately hold on. So you immediately going to fuck after that? I'm like, so you immediately go in the girls' DMs and be like,
well, vice versa.
Like, it's no way.
He said, hold on, pause.
Oh, she's doing it.
That's a stranger, dog.
Yes.
Dog, that's a stranger, bro. Like, that's the truth.
That's reality.
We have a way of justifying bullshit, right? Like, it's our, for example, you know the old culture, the dudes flying girls out. It's like, yo, bro, you flying out a stranger, dog. Like you flying out a stranger and trying to sound cool, sitting around, yeah, I'm addicted. I'm like, no, I don't know. No,
how you addicted. I ain't gonna lie. It's not.
It's not about this though.
But basically saying it's mental sex, not physical sex.
So look though. The issue with it is this: the issue with like substances in the form of cocaine, heroin, alcohol, whatever. Right? Sex is this though. It's a thing like neurochemically in you that makes you want to chase that.
Neurological deficiency.
So look,
the deficiency.
So look, exactly. So look though. So sex gets you dopamine, right? You get into dopamine, right? That's all I'm chasing in essence. But I'm just chasing it in the form of sex.
Okay.
So can you imagine this though, right? Like you getting a hit of dopamine, but like it's like you're getting a hit of a drug that you like, right? But then you also getting a hit of, like I told you, it's not just sex. It's validation.
It's the attention.
And attention. You didn't get none. You can only imagine. So when I talk about the problem and addiction, it's like, dog, I didn't realize I had a problem until you remember you met him, my ex.
Yeah,
5, 6 years
and
ago.
I told you that motherfucker was crazy. This was the craziest bitch I ever met.
You like white bitches?
I like all women.
Whoa, hey, don't he's talked to me about this, and the conversations I've had with him, I'm like, it's regular, but it was beating him down mentally because he was really just was famous. Like in the world where it's like the skaters and all that, he's famous in that shit. Like I've been taking this nigga's hair since he was 15. All I'm saying is that when it came down with this nigga, when he's coming to get his shit cut and all that, I'm telling this nigga like, man, leave your motherfucking life. He's like, I can't stop.
He did not say that.
No,
but I love the context though. I love the context.
It's just the conversations we had.
Yeah.
Like it was about that. I'm like, my nigga, you gotta experience it. And I mean, and as he grew, he took initiative and
went to classics.
Not classes. You went to classes, just programs. But then
it was a 12-step program.
But I still got
So what do they say? My name is Donta. I'm addicted to sex.
They said it was a 12-inch program.
Whoa!
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like what kind of changed up the lane too is I do commit, bro, because at a certain point, like he did lose his G-mom, his grandma. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And he had to take over a lot of her responsibilities.
Yeah.
And that changed, like in the past, 4 years maybe? It changed a lot for you?
Yeah, always changing.
Yeah, but I'm saying like for moving in and all. Exactly. So I think that really helped him.
And then also just taking the initiative to even go to a program.
But I mean, like it's like this is what I've learned. Like this kind of shit. Like the only difference between me and a lot of young brothers out there is that I'm the nigga honest about it, because, and I'm honest because I don't want to carry the burdens. I know what it's like to live a double life. Like I've lived a double life. I lived the life of being a nigga in a relationship and this cool dude, funny dude, this dude that read books, be in the library, that's knowledgeable and all this shit. And the nigga that's out here doing things that I'm not really proud of. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, I don't want to carry those burdens of a double life because I watched them destroy, you know, at least my little home that I had. For example, when we started to explore the conversation, when I said I didn't realize I had a real problem until I had, as he said, the white B word, right? Because that was my first real relationship. And when I had to step up and be a man and be what? Loyal, honest, right? And as pure as I can, you know, with the exception of being human, of course.
I was a No Matter What show. It's not a podcast. It was outstanding. And I want to let y'all know, no matter what, like I always say, I'm grateful for y'all. Feel me? Individually, you know? And that's just where I'm going to leave it at. What about you, Chris?
Chef Chris Brown from the No Matter What show. I don't want to say podcast. Sorry, it's not a podcast. No matter what, I am always thankful for being able to wake up every day and, you know, provide for my family and see you guys when I see you guys.
Oh, you guys are so nice. Tyra Nicole, it's not bad. It's gonna be about
God.
Tyra Nicole with the No Matter What show. First, I want to say thank you, Dante, for joining us today. Good. It was a great conversation, and I'm gonna end it with my No Matter What is. We touched a little bit about it, but I'm gonna continue to be the amazing, phenomenal single mother that I am. Okay, and I'm gonna represent for all the women because I am the only one here, and the single mothers, and we're gonna keep doing that shit no matter what because we gotta hold it down.
Amen. That's right. Shout out to the single moms.
Shout out to the single mom, team single
mom.
So
Dante, we want you to give us your No Matter What statement for the people today.
No matter what, I appreciate y'all having me for real. It was very spontaneous, which is what made it even more special. Yeah, I think that people. One thing we're missing in life, especially young men, young people, is just simply an open mind. You know, I think like we have a lot of things in this world that is hindering our ability to get somewhere, right? We attach ourselves to how we feel and an idea and so forth, and we kind of like close off our mind to just this widespread world of ideas and beliefs and wrongs and rights. So just, you know, people should keep their mind open. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah, but what you gonna do no matter what?
No matter what, I want to continue being not great, but just being simply a good person. That's a very underrated compliment, being a good person. That's what I want to keep.
Thank you, Dante. No Matter What show. Let's
cheers
to that.
Yeah, let me just take it from my
air.
I don't know if you're closer.
It's great.
And that's
No matter what, man.